Hi, I'm Stu, and welcome back to another LumaFusion video tutorial. Continuing our cinematic portal effect, it's time to actually add the portal effect. So here's the asset, which I created in Runway, and what we need to do is just position things along and see where the asset actually disappears. We get that smoke trail. Kind of inspired by Stargate SG-1, but obviously not a water effect. So I'm going to put my out point here, and I'm then going to work my way back this way. I'll place an in point there, and I'm just going to finesse things, and we'll take it to about 1.5 seconds. Yeah, that should be enough. Maybe open it up a little bit more, give us a bit more wiggle room. There we go. Obviously, our initial problem when we drag it down onto the timeline is we need to find a place for it, and I might have accidentally just dropped it in the right place, but we'll move it along. So you want to have it so that the portal opens just prior to our fitness guru Jack Jumper disappearing. But we need to prep things up a little bit. So let's first of all go into frame and fit. So press 1 on the keyboard, or press the pencil icon, and we need to flip things around. The next thing we need to do is blend it in. So I'm going to go for screen, and then we need to roughly position things. So the portal needs to sit just roughly in front of our man disappearing. What you can do is just sort of play it through and get an idea. Get the position there. And then because we've got excess portal here and at the bottom, what we're going to do is use the crop tool and just move up and crop up the bottom. So we'll set it level with our runner's shadow. And then we're going to bring in the side. Just make sure that's in position with the side. Now it could well be we need to go back to our position and just rotate it ever so slightly just to straighten it up, and then that way I can check that the left crop is sort of balancing things. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of edge softness in, just so that it's not a hard edge. And then if we look, now obviously it's just appearing at this point, but to get that kind of opening up and then closing effect, we're going to want to add some keyframes. But we've got the initial sort of look about it. There we go. That works. Now, you can choose to keep the colouring, or if we go into frame and fit, 5 on the keyboard, or again press your pencil icon and go to colour and effects, click on or tap on an original. What I did for the demo was reduce the saturation and vibrance down to 0 and then played with the gamma. So if you just slide to the left slightly, it just brightens up the portal. And now that we've got that, we're kind of ready to make the portal expand. And there's a couple of ways you could potentially do this, but I've mainly been using the keyframing and just adjusting the sizing using keyframes. So if we come back out of there, we'll just check things out. Another thing in terms of color, we go back into our presets for a second. If I switch that off and look at some of the other options, you can see like using likes of Minimark would give that effect. So it's actually quite good to look through the solar flare, Polaroid, black and white, Anyway, we'll take that away and we'll go with what I've got going here. So we move back over to frame and fit, and then what we need to do is time things out for the keyframe appearing and then disappearing. I'm just going to give myself a few more frames at the front end, just so I've got a bit of wiggle room in terms of the time it takes to appear and then disappear again. Okay, I reckon this point here is the point that all the magic needs to basically happen. If we assume that about there is where the portal's at its fullest, so if we go into frame and fit, I'm going to drop a keyframe there, and I'm then going to work things back, drop another keyframe, and at that point, I'm going to drop the size down to 0. And then when we play it through, you can see it pops up. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about this point here. So what we're going to do is we'll go into the crop tool, like so, drop another keyframe as this is the completed element, and go back to the beginning and drop a keyframe. And then as we blend between the two, I'm going to just make that sort of trail off thing, I don't know what you would call it, disappear. I'm just checking that it's working. So by the time we get to here, it's fully sort of opened out. So if we go to there, vanished to there, now we can sort of open it out a little bit. And then there, go nearly all the way. And then there is where everything appears. And if we play it through, yeah, that works. Now, the only thing we need to do after that is soften the edge a bit more. So yeah, we will need to go into each of the keyframes. I'm just going to crank up the edge softness. It's the next keyframe. Crank up the edge softness. Keyframe. Blending the two together. Then when we get to here, we don't need to worry about the edge softness so much. But we'll give it an extra little something. Take it up to 2 points. It's looking pretty good. Come back out. And that is working well. Timing appears to be right. And then to finish it off at the other end, I'm just going to shrink it down a bit at the back end. Just pull in and ripple in the edit. Reduce the duration. And we could just add a transition and simply dissolve it away. And we don't need much of a transition, so let's take that down to, again, about 4 or 5 frames. Might lengthen it a little bit, so I'm going to stretch it back out. Go into the transition, tap on it, and then bring it up. And at the final back end bit, you kind of want to reverse the keyframing. So if we go back into frame and fit, just starting at the edge of the transition, add a keyframe, and then press the down arrow to go to the very end. And then just reduce the size. There we go. And then if we play it through, that works. And again, if we go to our crop, just move our timeline along, get a good position on it, drop a keyframe, and then we want to add 1 frame at a time and just have this left slider coming in there. I'm just going to drop a keyframe there. I'm not going to make any adjustments. Increase it there. And there. Drop another keyframe. And then a final one at the end. And then if we play the whole thing through, combined with the cross dissolve, Again, we're just needing a softer edge at the back end. Just checking out the blend point. Go into our crop tool. And again, we'll just increase the edge softness. Edge softness. And we can always use that to help disappear the effect. That's just a bit gone anyway. And we'll just play it through again. And that's looking even better than how I had it before in the demo. Okay, we don't actually need our graphic to extend all the way along. So we can bring that and just shrink that down to about there. And that way it just shows up for the portal effect. I'm just going to go in and press 0 twice. Change that to red. Portal effect we will make blue. And then our jack jumper plate, that's the actual footage, I'm just going to make yellow. Just so I can tell the difference between them. And these guys here, I'm going to multi-select all 5. And you'll see when you do that, all you've got is just literally the color tagging. And they deserve to be yellow as well. So get rid of that. Switch off multi-select. Now the other thing I'm thinking is that if we go in, and I think in all of our keyframes, we reduce the opacity. So we'll take it down to about, say, 85%. See how that looks. Now I notice there's a little bit of drift at the back end. I can't work out whether I like that or not. I'm not sure. But let's go in and have a look at it. So frame of fit into our crop. So at this point, the edge softness is 2. And over here, edge softness goes down to 15. So what we're going to have to do is just prior to these adjusting is just get the edge softness back down to 2. There we go. And then that way it holds consistently during the time that the portal actually exists. And then starts to fade away. And that works perfectly. Yep, looking good. So it's just appearing and disappearing. Now the very last element I'm going to put in before we call it quits for today and next time we do the sound design is that I'm going to create an adjustment clip. Just drag it along, trim up the back end. And I just want a simple push in. And the cool thing about the adjustment clips, which I do think are going to be the precursor to hopefully compound clips where we can put all of this into one clip and keep the timeline nice and neat and tidy. Go into frame and fit, go to our beginning, tap a keyframe, go to the end of the clip, and then increase the size. So we'll take it up to maybe 102 or 103, depending how fast a push in you want. And it's just a little sort of dolly in, just to give a little bit more movement to the scene. Again, keeping with our colouring, going to make that one red as well. Just a little bit more dynamic. There we go. And I think that'll do us for today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and share. Feel free to comment, ask questions below. Also, I've got my live stream on a Thursday, 10 to 11 a.m. UK time. If you want to ask any other questions on that about the tutorials. And in part 4, we're going to wrap things up by applying the sound design just to bookend the whole tutorial. See you later.